So, how does another military YouTuber make extra cash on the side while out on the field? For this interview, we have NickyMGTV, the Philip DeFranco of military content. What is up, Money Tribe? Mike Damazo here to help you make sense of dollars. How You Money is a series of conversations with people about personal finance. So we'll start with the first question. What made you start in your financial journey?
Talking about money came from, if you want to be real, it was from pretty much growing up in a not well-off, household. I think that's where most people in the military started out at. My parents weren't well off, I couldn't afford school, things like that. And so I'll give my little backstory real quick. Working on people at my first duty station that were better off, I'm sure you've experienced that too, where you're like, this guy's onto something. And then you start picking their brains. Had a pharmacist that jokingly wanted to go buy me McDonald's one night when I was going to go make our little McDonald's run for night shift. He's a retired officer and I was at E2 and he goes, hey, get yourself something too. And I was like, oh, sir, I got it. And he's like, no. How much did you make last year? And I made $21,000. And he laughs. He's like, I made $220,000 last year. And I was like, I need to figure this guy out. So I think that's kind of what started that overall.
That's true. And then with the time you've been in to now, what would you say your number one money hack is?
I have always worked another job. I've always done something else. People would make fun of you because I would mow yards when I was in Rhode-Island on a Saturday or Sunday, but I was like, that was a couple $100. That was my vacation to go do something else. I did photography for people before. I do YouTube now. I've always done something extra to add to my income. And I think that's been kind of the main staple of people in the military. They look at their one income and they're like, all right, this is what I got to live off. And I'm like, no, there's actually a lot of other things you could do.
Yep, there's a lot of extra income that you could get. Who would you say is some of your influences and inspiration with money?
Influences and inspiration. So this has kind of morphed over time. To be honest, I think Dave Ramsey was the first start for me because that's all right, I'm an idiot. I need a foundation.
Papa Dave. I was going to say Papa Dave. I like to call him Papa Dave.
Yeah, he kind of helped out with the foundation. I did cut up my credit cards at one point because I did have a couple thousand on those, and I was like, man, I hate paying the same thing back every single time. And I felt like I was sitting there not even making a dent to save anything. And so that was my first inspiration. I guess I'll just count him as my first inspiration for financial freedom. You know what I mean? As I've grown to be more financially savvy, I've altered some of the thoughts that he's had, using credit cards appropriately. I don't ever have a running balance, but I do collect the points and stuff like that. I would say that's for someone that is more mature in their financial journey, but I'm not trying to stroke my ego, but definitely it is definitely something that I would say is changed over time, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. So name one thing you choose extravagantly on, no care, this is, I'm gonna ball out because this is what makes me happy.
Do you want my singular purchase or do you want something I regularly spend? Because I think my singular purchase, all right.
I want to hear both.
I've never mentioned this, but I actually wanted to make a video on it because I never did. So my singular purchase where I balled out was my Honda Civic Type R 2017, brand new, dude. I was definitely brand new, and I never bought a brand new car. I drove a 95 Camry. I drove used Accord that was much cheaper. Then I bought a Honda Civic because the Accord got totaled, and then I was like, I never bought anything brand new that's mine. I'd watched Dave already and I was like, I'm just going to be stupid. And I did. But to be real with you, that is what has leveraged my channel to grow so much, because I said, if I bought this crazy car, I'm going to pay for it with my second job. I'm going to make sure this thing is gone, Yep. And it's gone. I don't have a car payment anymore. I stuck to that. But on the singular items that I kind of blow my money on overall that are just stupid, you know, that are the Pokemon Crane game plushies. Like,
no judgment here.
Yeah, I'll pull out, like, because I'm like, it's $100. I don't spend much on anything else. Like, I'm financially very well set to where now I'm not worried about that $100, and I can realize I'm paying for an experience that is childish and stupid, but I could be buying something else much more worse off. I don't know. I guess you could say drugs, you know, which are more expensive over time. So I'm just being funny with that, by the way. If anyone's picking up on my humor here.
All right. So for the next one, what is the best advice you've ever received?
I think the best advice that I've been given is probably just as far as like TSP advice and figuring that out. Like that's been one of the biggest revelations to overall success and growth, which has now multiplied. Obviously, it's gotten bigger. I've looked at other things to make my money grow as well. And that was like baby steps, you know? But I think if someone's going to watch this for financial advice, I would say, realize, like, don't try and swallow the whole sandwich at once. Try and take one bite. Like, get your TSP login first. Okay, that's one bite. Your next bite, get your PIN to log in for your password. All right, that's another bite. All right, now the third bite, check where your money is at, you know? And so I think my advice would be moving my money from G Fund, because I was one of those people for a while. That was putting my money in like the worst growth that you could ever have, and I was making no money for a couple of years. So yeah.
Gotcha. Now with your library content so extensive, you've been creating stuff on YouTube for a while. What would you say your most favorite piece of content you've created?
It's always the content that no one watches. To be honest with you, it's always the video I think that's gonna blow up never does blow up. My favorite piece of content was a spicy video challenge I wanted to make. Is like, military tries the Hot Ones challenge, right? And I had so much fun making it. The video got like 1,000 views and is dead, right? And I was like, what? Like, Bullet Juice got 1 million off that video, like, and we're eating spicier stuff than him, you know? And it never did take off. But, you know, I think my advice to people with that is, whenever I make a video, I realize I can strike and swing out, but every day is a new video for me, or like every couple days is a new video. So I'm waiting for that next big upswing. And if a video goes and only makes 500 views, cool, that's that video. And I can maybe tweak some things, and it may be my favorite video, but it's not always going to be what my audience wants to see. And I've had to respect that maybe a little bit more than I thought, you know, this past year, definitely how I've kind of navigated content.
Sure. And so let's go with the closing questions. Who are you interested in seeing how you money?
There's only one person I can think of, because I think they are so vastly different than me. That's Donnie, TWK videos. I'm being honest with you. Like, his ideas on investing and like where money is at is totally different than mine. So I would say that would be the person I would nominate, if anybody. So yeah, definitely bring him on, and I would love to see the comparison.
Yeah. All right. What are you up to?
What am I up to? Well, right now, the field, literally. So this is going to throw people off. So I apologize to people that are like, you're not in your little studio setup, you know, aka spare bedroom, by the way. Yeah. So I do apologize, but yeah, that's pretty much the main thing. Making videos, trying to make videos every single day, and I think getting better at editing, getting better at thumbnails, getting better at stuff like that. That's my main thing, is growing the channel, because that's where I find my passion at, and doing that every day. So
that's awesome.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to gently tap that thumbs up if you haven't already. Sound off below what Pokemon you would choose if you had to be stuck with one. Lastly, subscribe if you haven't already. Stay legendary, and I'll see you in the next video.